Hello and welcome to Games4all Extra. On today's show we're going to be talking about a little game called Enslaved, Odyssey to the West.
Hey! Hey! Open the door! You
Okay, so Enslaved is the new game by Ninja Theory, who brought us Heavenly Sword back in the early days of the PS3. It's multi-platform this time though, which is kind of interesting. It's centered around a character called Monkey, who is based off the old Chinese legend and 70s TV show, also called Monkey. It's sort of an action-adventure platforming game. It's a bit of fighting, a bit of puzzle solving, lots of platform. Borrows heavily from lots of different games. It kind of meshes them together, but I think it works really, really well. There's obviously big action set pieces, kind of reminiscent of Uncharted 2, so if you're a fan of that series, then there are certainly elements of that in here.
You put this on me.
Let me explain.
Get this thing off, or I'm gonna rip your head off.
No.
The combat itself is simple but satisfying if you're not expecting too much from it. I mean, simple button bashing will do, or you can really sort of study it and try and work out your own techniques. Kind of reminds me a bit of Batman Arkham Asylum in that although you're not really doing much pressing the buttons wise, it looks good. The animation is fantastic, the way Monkey moves around, swinging his old staff and destroying mechs. It's kind of also, you get like the occasional sequences where you kill them and it does the whole slow motion bullet time sort of focusing on his face. It's really kind of gritty, but like I said, if you're expecting a combat heavy game, this probably isn't it. I mean, it's got combat in it, but that's just a small part, and I think what makes this game so different is that it's all the little parts that come together. I mean, you got simplified combat from like Dynasty Warriors or Batman, you got the platforming segments from, say, Prince of Persia, yet it doesn't feel like it's copying any of those games. It feels like something new, which is a good thing, as this is probably the only original game coming out this holiday season. Get the sense that it's probably a start of a new IP. We probably will be seeing sequels at some point, and I hope so, because I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's a beautiful game. It's running on the Unreal 3 engine. The occasional bit of pop-up texture-wise, but that's kind of expected now with Unreal games. I mean, there's only a few that I can think of off the top of my head that have kind of eliminated that. But, you know, it doesn't detract too much. There's some frame rate issues, a little bit of dropping here and there, but not enough to really break the game or take you out of it.
Do you think you could tell me what the plan is?
To get you home as fast as possible so that you can take this thing off my head and I can break your neck.
What makes this game special to me is
Over there.
occasionally when I'm playing games, there are games that no matter how sort of technically advanced they are or whatever, I just don't notice that because I'm so engrossed in them. This is one of those games. I could really get myself drawn into it. I've followed the story. The story is well written, it's well acted. The animations and everything, especially facial animations of the characters, are incredible and really kind of make you connect with the characters. Obviously, the main character of Monkey is played by Andy Serkis, who you may know as Gollum or King Kong. He also directed the action sequences as well, and you can definitely see that they've spent a lot of time trying to make the characters look as human as possible, especially around the eyes. Trip as well is another good character in the game. I say good character, but when I first heard this game, you have to protect this girl, I thought, oh god, it's another escort mission game, but she doesn't ever make it a chore. It's never hard to protect her. The AI for the Trip character is fairly advanced. She mostly just stays out of the way, and if she does get in trouble, she has ways of looking after herself. So you kind of really feel connected to her, and you feel like you want to protect her just because of the way that the character is there. And see like the emotional bonds between the characters is kind of sweet and well thought out, and really something quite special.
What's that?
It's a cloud.
Doesn't look like a cloud. Well, maybe a little like a cloud.
There are a few slight issues with the controls, as you do get in most sort of 3D platforming games, and they can be a bit twitchy, but most of the time it's fairly straightforward. You don't need to be too precise when you're pointing where you're jumping, because it sort of auto guides it for you. But there still is a challenge to the game, and that's a good thing, because in places it's really challenging and really makes you think, but it's never frustrating. The autosave feature and the checkpoint system is well thought out, so normally every time you come up to a challenge, if you fail it, you don't have to start the whole level again. You can just sort of carry on with that challenge, and some of them do require a little bit of thought, but there's also several ways of going about them, which is good. There are always multiple directions, whether it's sneaking past enemies or taking them on head on. You can do that in any way, shape or form, and yeah, I like it.
Get out! When I give you the signal, you get back, okay?
No, I
Hey!
can't.
Do as I say.
Well, those are my thoughts on the game. You can pick it up now in stores on Xbox 360 and PS3. If you'd like to listen to more of our shows or watch more of our videos, you can find them at www.games4allpodcast.com, or you can feel free to email us at podcast@games4allpodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, just do a search for us, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/games4all. Thanks for downloading. See you soon.